I get knocked back down. I gotta search my feelings just like a pat down. And when I hear you ain't loyal, I don't like that sound. And you done burnt all them bridges, don't you come back round. You know sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search.
It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And in today's video, we're going to discuss Woman Explains how it's rare to see attractive men these days. So I came across this clip, guys, man, and I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys, and we're going to come back and chop it up.
I seen a debate in somebody's comments that really got me thinking, like, wow, that's so motherfucking true. Basically, the video, it was a man, he was talking about how women think, every woman think they're a 10, when in reality they're really a 5 or a 6, yada, yada, yada. Fuck what he's talking about. But the comments is really what got me thinking, because basically it was like, for every one attractive male, it's 10 attractive females. With that being said, it's very rare to step out your house and see a fine ass man. You go to the grocery store, you don't see no fine ass men. You go to the park, you don't see no fine ass men. Like, that fine men aren't just floating around like fine bitches are. I leave my house, I see a couple of bad bitches. I see a couple of girls that they might not be a 10, but they at least a 9, a 9.5, an 8, a 6, a 7. Like, girls genuinely be beautiful out here. On a daily basis, I at least see one attractive female, but not a man. Oh, no. Oh, nay. Ain't no fine shit just wandering around here. You gotta go hunt. You gotta go on a hunt to find you a fine ass nigga, and you better hope he's single, which doubt it. A nigga that's fine is most likely already cuffed the fuck up somewhere. Okay, somebody already locked that down years ago.
Okay, now, as you guys can see, she's definitely saying about how she's can rarely see attractive men when she go outside. It's rare to see what she call like fine men when she walks out. Now, before these guys come over here and be like, oh man, she ain't all this, she's a 5 or a 6 and all this other stuff. Hey man, don't come over here with all that coping ass shit. Nobody want to hear that bullshit, bro. We talking about the subject at hand. We ain't talking about what the woman looks like. And I told you guys from the beginning that when a woman is walking around and she's looking, she is looking from the inside out. Understand that she's looking from the inside out. So it doesn't matter, even if she was like a 2 or a 3 or whatever, and she don't like what she see in the mirror, or she don't look that appealing or unfortunate looking in the mirror or whatever, she still can look out and see through her eyes what's fine and what's not. It doesn't matter if she measures up or not. So that's not the subject at hand. So guys will be like coping, be like, oh, she's not this, she's not that. She still has eyes, and she can still see what is fine and what's not. So let's get that. That's across the board right there. That's across the board. So it don't matter what she looks like. Going after the chick ain't going to negate what she's saying. So let's get back to this. How it's rare for her to see attractive men. You gotta understand, a lot of guys, one, they don't have the genetics. Let's going to begin there. They don't have the genetics. And then the ones that do have the genetics, they don't maximize the genetics. A lot of guys are not out here maximizing how they look. So that's the beginning. A lot of guys don't have the genetics, especially with facial and stuff like that. A lot of guys like very, very, very average looking in the face. And a lot of guys don't want to work on their body. So of course they're not hitting on those cylinders for them to even be considered fine. Because of course, like, she could see a lot of handsome guys that'll be like, oh, like extremely skinny, like frail and all that stuff. That's not the hot type of guy she's talking about. I already know for a fact that that's not really what she's talking about. She's talking about some guys that got the physique and looks good too. I'm telling you. I am telling you right now. I already know what it means. Fine is literally in the body, mostly. But of course, if you have the genetics too, it's just a double whammy. But it's going to be rare, because you got to understand, like, that's why a lot of chicks like indulge in a lot of this nightlife and stuff like that, because that's the only time you're going to see like a concentration of guys that actually kind of fit the aesthetic she's talking about. And even then, it's not going to be that many, and especially in comparison to the women that are considered hot and stuff like that. It's not going to be like it's going to be like 10-1 just about, probably even more, 12 or 13-1 type deal when it comes to that type of deal. So that's why when in the nightlife, that's the only time you're going to really see like a lot of guys are hitting on this attractive spectrum type deal, gathered in one place type deals, you know. And even then, it's not going to be that many. Like, when you go out to the grocery store, like everyday life, that's when you're going to be like, dang, it really ain't that many people. Ain't that many people that's in shape. Ain't that many people that hit the gym. Even the people that's in the gym ain't really hitting on too much because they ain't taking their workout seriously. A lot of them ain't taking their diet seriously. A lot of them in there just going through the motions, don't really know how to work out, don't know what the hell they doing. That's a big thing. A lot of them don't have their genetics either. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. We got to make that separation because genetics do play a big factor. Whether you're tall and you sometimes you might have the face card. Sometimes you might have the face and the body card. You know, sometimes your face can be all okay, but your body's making up the rest of it. You know, there's tiers to this shit, but genetics play a big part of it. And if you have genetics and you're not really taking advantage of it, so a lot of guys are leaving a lot of stuff on the table with that because they not taking full advantage. And I was one of those guys. I was fat as shit. You see what I mean? So I was covering up a lot of my features of my face, and my body wasn't being shown in the best light. So I was pretty much self-sabotaging myself, as you've seen, like me going from fat as hell to what I am now and what I'm going into even further into right now as I'm dialing it in further and further. So of course it's going to be hard for her to see many attractive men because a lot of guys just ain't, they not doing nothing, bro. They're not maximizing anything. They're not moving toward anything, not working on nothing. A lot of guys will never understand what it feels like to have a woman look at them and be like, damn, God damn. But they be the main ones be looking at chicks like, God damn. But they'll never have chicks looking at them saying that shit. Never will. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Some guys will never have that happen to them. Never. They will not understand the world that you are living in. There's two different worlds. Now, I'm not saying that average guys can't pull women. Of course, they can pull some women, but they playing in a different ball game than we are playing. We don't have to try as hard. Guys like us, we don't have to try as hard. We don't have to do the most. We ain't even got to have a lot of personality and all that other stuff. We can just show up and have chicks like literally like choose on us and take interest in things that they not even interested in just to be around you. You see what I mean? That's the kind of stuff they got. We ain't got to come out and be extra enthusiastic and have the best personality around and all this other stuff. We ain't gotta do all that shit. That's just keeping it, but we don't have to do that, bro. So like the thing with us and her barely seeing attractive men out there, like I say, there's a bunch of guys that ain't trying that hard. A lot of guys that don't have genetics, never will have the genetics, and it's fine. But we gotta keep it real out here. There's a different world that we're living in. We're living in a whole different world as attractive men. And you guys we just gotta acknowledge that. That's not even being arrogant. It is what it is. Because people gonna judge you the moment they see you. They see you. A girl look at you is gonna be fine or not. Either you gonna be fine or you ain't gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine or you're gonna be normal. You're gonna be all right or whatever. But if she look at you and she like, damn, that's it. That is it, bro. Like there is ways that you can mess it up, but it is very hard to mess it up when a chick look at you and be like, damn, bro. It's really hard to mess it up, bro. You get so many chances. You get forgiven. You get forgiveness. You get to get away with so much other shit. Like, bro, like you can literally put them through hell and they'll find a way to make it their own fault. All kind of shit, bro. Like it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here to actually be a man that can walk into a room and have chicks like choosing on them. A lot of guys do not experience that. They don't experience that. They try to fabricate it by having all these jewels on and trying to flex with the car and flex with the jewelry and the designer and stuff. They try to fabricate having that effect on, by wearing the chains and all that. That's why they try to be so over the top with the peacocking culture and the grind culture and all that stuff, because that's the only way they can have a chick even look their way twice or anything. But I would rather have a chick looking at me twice from who I am than what they think I have. Because a lot of those guys that's flexing with that stuff don't even have the shit. The only money they got is what they got on their body. You see what I'm saying? Or what they driving around in and stuff like that. It really is. It's a lot of pump faking out here, even with that. But it's guys that do have it and do it too. But it's a lot of pump fakers out there. Because you got to understand, like, not especially if like you out here, you working a bunch of like 9 to 5. Not saying 9 to 5 guys can't buy a lot of stuff like that. But I'm just saying it doesn't match up with what you're portraying. You see what I mean? You walking around here like you got rapper money and stuff like that, when this isn't your really reality and stuff like that. So they have to do a lot of these peacocking things to try to get women to double take, and they're trying to create the same environment that a sexually attractive man. They're trying to create the same situation, the same effect of women looking his way, but it's not the same. It's not the same. We can walk in plain Jane and get that. You see what I mean? We can walk in and hardly even trying and get that. And guys can't stand that shit, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Guys are very observant too. Like they'll try to deny it. They'll try to smack their teeth and do all that hating ass bullshit, passive aggressive ass shit. But they understand it. They understand you ain't got to do nowhere near what they doing. They know it. They know for a fact. They know what the chicks looking at when you walk in the room. They can look at you and tell, yeah. Even if you ain't talking to no bitches, they can tell that, bro, you got the potential to get bitches, bro. You looking at them, okay, yeah, you clean cut. I can tell. You know, a lot of guys, bro, they try to deny that shit, bro. They know what the fuck this shit look like, bro. They know what it look like. They know what it look like, a guy that can get some chicks, that got potential to get some chicks. Even if they look at him and see that his attitude and his personality, they classified as lame, but guess what? That sexually attractive man can get away with that shit. Sexually attractive man can get away with that lame shit. Cause me, like I told you before, I had examples that hood chicks, they looked at me as lame, right? Because of my vernacular, the way I spoke and all that other stuff. But they was calling me up to smash at 2 or 3 in the morning. They was literally talking shit about me and all that stuff. But till I came out there with my tank top on, I was chilling, yeah. I was clean cut one day. They always said I was cute and all that, but then I turned into fine. Then they saw me. Everything changed when they saw me in my tank top. But that day, from that day forth, all that other shit, bro. Even then they started asking me about what animes I'm watching. Like, bitch, you usually always laughing at me about that. You see what I'm saying? So, bro, like, guys will never experience chicks going back on their word about shit. Like, you know, they will never understand that. So chicks do not see a lot of attractive men in person like y'all think they do. It's not common for that. It's rare for them to see a bunch of men that are actually sexually attractive, that actually hit on that cylinder that they see. So it doesn't matter what the woman that's looking like, that's actually talking about this, because it is what it is. Women have eyes. And like I said, women grow up having their celebrity crushes, and it doesn't matter what the woman look like. At the end of the day, they all agree to one thing across the board, even up and down the scale, that this man is fine. It don't matter. You see what I'm saying? That's what matters. What matters is what's being said. It doesn't matter who is really like coming from like that. Now, of course, a lot of guys ain't gonna really take it from chicks that they don't view as conventionally attractive. But the thing is, what they fail to realize is that the conventionally attractive and the conventionally unattractive women can have the same spectrum of men that they see as fine. That's what they don't get. That's because they're hearing it from this one chick. They feel like another chick that looks conventionally attractive and numbers ahead of her don't share the same views. See, that's where they get the whole situation of whether somebody is attractive misconstrued because of the messenger. You see what I'm saying? So guys like to try to cope by bashing the messenger. So she ain't got the right to say this, and it's always the guys that, like I say, don't never experience none of the shit that we experience as sexually attractive men. It is what it is. They will never experience it because they will never take accountability, never trying to put in any work, and they don't have any genetics as well either. So I'm gonna keep it a buck on that. So some guys got the genetics, some guys just don't. But even with the stuff that they have, they're not even maximizing what they have, even without having that. So they definitely cook. They more than cook. They're beyond cook. So they have to lead with the trick mentality. They have to lead with the grind mentality. Well, I make this type of money mentality. They have to do that. They got to do that. They forced to do that. Trust me. You tell them to go out. Tell them to go out without any designer, any chains on. They gonna feel naked out there. They gonna feel they gonna have a whole different aspect of the whole night. Like they probably ain't gonna even want to take their ass to the club no more if they got to go out without no chains and no design on. I guarantee it, bro. But you go out plain Jane. I don't give a fuck. You got you damn got shoes that damn look like Bobos. You'll still pull some bitches. I'm telling you, bro. If your shit hitting like that for real, like if you are a sexually attractive man, so that high caliber, bro, that you can walk in and you can pull like multiple chicks. You got multiple chicks give you 2% on a consistent basis, bro. Like a lot of this other shit that you feel like you gotta do, and you gotta adhere to, and all that shit. It just doesn't exist for you. It don't. It does not exist for you, bro. And guys will never be able to fathom that reality, which is why they don't take it seriously to put in the work to become the best versions of themselves, which is why she is rarely going to see a lot of sexually attractive men that actually have that effect on the room when they walk in. on a regular day basis. You gotta understand when you go out like to the malls and you go out to like grocery stores, bro, you're gonna see what we're talking about. Get out these environments where it's a concentration of people like the nightlife and the gym, and you're gonna see what we really talking about. And even in the gym, it still could be like, you know, a scarcity of all that as well. But that's why a lot of women too, I ain't gonna say just be in the gym just for that, but it's an element of it too. You most likely gonna be coming across people that that fit that aesthetic in the gym and at the nightlife scene. So that's where everybody be flexing and all that other stuff. But anyway, it's your boy Noto back in these YouTube streets because your boy wants to beat. And remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves if they're willing to work at it. I'm out.
They be like, oh, so you rapping now? I line them up with the bars and I punch them like Pacquiao. Look at the L's and I'm passing out. I ain't the best, but I'm on my way up there without a doubt. I was pathetic and hella broke, learning from poverty just like a sponge. I just got a soak. Down on my luck, but I got a stroke. Nigga, I'm high on my life.